Y'all, I figured I should come in here and talk about this terminology of Karen. I've had 2 conversations in the last 2 days about Karen and Becky. I was at a truck stop, minding my own business, as usual. Y'all notice all these stories start off the same. I'm always minding my damn business, right? A black man comes up to me, sees that I have on a Malcolm X t-shirt, and he proceeds to tell me, I like your shirt, but like, I didn't even like how it was being set up when I heard the but. But you can't sit here and say all white people are bad. And the first thing I said, he kind of was taken aback by. I was like, well, I didn't say anything. I was minding my business. You said this upon seeing my shirt. You felt the need to cape for the caves. And we have people out here who do this. And I told him that I didn't really give a fuck what he was talking about. He said, yeah, man, I know that sometimes these Karens out here be... And I said, wait a minute. Karen? Now, I understand this is the name that black people have decided to call this diabolical, nefarious, racist cave hoe. I get that. I watched some of the greatest teachers and orators that to me ever lived deal in just the white man. The white man was the diabolical one. The cave hoe, well, she's just there. She just exists. She ain't really doing much of anything. I said, so what y'all have done with this terminology, and I watch us do it all the time. We call it being politically correct. But I would argue you can just as well call them caves. I would argue that one against anybody. There's nothing wrong or vile about calling them caves. Nothing wrong with that. That's where they came from. But we've rested on Karen. And Becky was what they was called before they was necessarily being racist. These were the ones that would be, having sex with or in relationships with black men. And you may not know their names, so black men would even call them white bitches that fuck with black dudes, Beckys. Right? Karen became what the terminology was for a cave hoe actively being racist towards a black person. How the fuck did y'all let this happen? Karen? Y'all won't spell it with 3 Ks, which we talked about this before. Y'all won't even spell it with 3 Ks. So I get into this with this black man. And I asked him, who was the woman from which, the womb from which the person you focus all your attention of your impression on, what womb did they come from? Who raised them? Do y'all notice how they will always blame black women, black mothers, black single mothers for how children turn out? Anybody notice that? When it comes to how racist white men have been, no one talks about their moms. Like, oh, they'll talk about how much thugs black women creating, the single black moms, the hood moms, creating all these gang members and thugs, and don't nobody else on the planet have to carry their kids and what their kids do and how their kids was raised except the black woman. Y'all let the cave hoe off. Her kid can shoot up as many schools as he want, murder, be serial killers, rape. He can do all of that. None of that ever is connected to their moms, to their mothers. We don't find this odd. And as I'm having this conversation with this black man, he's sitting here, you know, nodding along with me, telling me he never even thought about it like that. How many times I done told y'all that in these stories? How many people say this? They never thought about it like that. But you thought enough to see my fucking t-shirt and tell me that all white folk ain't bad. It's a black man now. And that's why I tell y'all, we dealing with a real high level of coon shit. We dealing with cave crusaders. At all time, I said nothing. I also had a conversation on the phone with, you know, one of my homeboys and shit. And I was going through the carrying shit with him. But he wasn't coming out defending the case. We just got on the topic because I done told y'all, if you're in a conversation with me, there's a good chance we're going to discuss some shit, right? But I figured with these two experiences happening so close together, I had to come on here and do a video, right? Because I want to show black people how silly we're being. Like it wasn't the cave hoe that was beating the shit out of the black children on plantations. Google the Casual Killing Act. Google that. Where you had white bitches, Master's wife now. Like, again, to continue to disconnect her from him is a problem. It creates a false narrative in our mind. She was not there against her will. You see depictions of her in some of the most brutal photos of black men being lynched. Black children just trying to go to schools. You'll see this bitch mad as fuck, willing to kill your children on a plantation. Because what they did was make a law to where it wasn't illegal if you killed a slave, as long as you can say you killed him while doling out some discipline. These cave hoes was murdering your children for not acting right. Not just whooping them. Killing them, beating the shit out of them. This diabolical, murderous cave hoe, y'all call them Karens now. Karens. A Karen calling the cops, 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up, to have you murdered. The most you can do in your cowardice is come up with Karen. Now, they don't like Karen. I'll give y'all that. They don't like it. But it doesn't shine the right light on these bitches. And I disagree. Somebody that will sit by while they brother and father and uncle and grandpa lynch me, it's not no Karen. The Ku Klux Klan. Y'all don't think they had female membership? What the fuck are we thinking? What are we saying to the world when we call the woman who has been responsible for our deaths, falsely imprisoned, enslavement? What you call these people is Karens. You feel like you being slick. You talk about the white man. Y'all know over here at Black First, Second, and Third, we say the white man and his mama. We open it up. We broaden the perspective. We broaden the scope to put things into a more realistic timeline, a realistic, actual sequence of events. This bitch has been able to get off, and it allows her to be used against us to infiltrate our people. A smiling cave, yeah. That's all you gotta have. It's a woman. What threat could she be? You got black men that will lay in the caves, and at one point the government was doing their COINTELPRO and knew that was a weakness of black men. Knew it. Send her in. Because they don't associate her with us. Send her in there. And it worked with black women too. While they was murdering your fucking babies, you decided that this was the bitch you was gonna stand beside. This was empowerment. It's not the white man. They're the ones that's the Klan. They was the ones that was mass on the plantation. The white hoe didn't have really much to do with that. The cave didn't have much to do with that. And to our detriment, we've suffered by trusting these motherfuckers. Everything that they do, no matter how fucked up, no matter what their end game is, because they're not just calling the cops on you. They're calling the cops so that cops can come murder you. That's what they've been doing. When they were sitting around pointing at you, saying that you raped them, and was having lynch mobs come murder you, they've been doing that. That's a diabolical racist cave bitch. That's what that is. That's not a Karen. And this black man want to talk about the antics of these Karens as his examples of, well, I know that some of them act like this. Karen. It's because we refuse to deal with the reality of who these people are, because we are disconnecting the mother from their fathers, their mothers from their sons, because we do that with these cave hoes. They have been able to slide through relatively scot-free. That's the power that we gave them. We don't call them Karens over here. I don't even respect seeing Karen in the comments unless you're gonna spell it with 3 Ks. If you're not spelling it with 3 Ks, don't even leave that shit on my motherfucking channel. Period. Don't put it in my comment section. Don't put it in my lives. Do not put no motherfucking Karen anywhere on my channel unless you're gonna spell it with 3 Ks. I don't want to see it. To me, that's looking like a goddamn blockable offense at this point, because I don't understand why you would want to, make pet names for these diabolical motherfucking hoes. How the fuck they get a pet name? haven't once formed as a team to fight against, even if they're going to fight against the white man. And y'all claim the white man doing it by himself. These bitches ain't formed no goddamn coalition. Karens against racism. Never happened. They're not fighting their fathers, their brothers, their sons. They're not fighting them. They're the ones that nurture the racism into these motherfuckers. They're not fighting against them. They fall in line. How the fuck you gonna call her Karen? Meanwhile, the white man, oh, he the devil. Oh, yeah. The white man the devil. But a Karen, oh, she gets all, it's just Karen. Karen, you know, it's an isolated event. That's what Karen does. It makes it seem like it's an isolated event. Like a lot of these motherfuckers aren't nefarious, diabolical, racist cave hoes. That's what it makes it seem like. Oh, that's a one-off. That's barbecue Karen. What? That's convenience store Karen. What? That's block party Karen. What? Oh, that's hotel Karen. The fuck is wrong with you niggas? These are not isolated events. These motherfuckers hold positions of power to affect your life. These cave bitches be judges. They be cops. They work all up at the bank. We've seen even their racist practices with redlining. These real estate agents and shit. And all they get is Karen? And y'all don't see nothing wrong with that? This is why I can't deal with black folk like this. Because then I start looking crazy. It'll start looking like something wrong with me. Because so many of y'all are going to go with the flow. Going to keep separating the white man from his mama. Cutting that motherfucking umbilical cord. And this bitch running around out here scot motherfucking free. It's problematic. I explained this to this black man. Now, of course, I didn't sit there and talk to him as in depth as I'm talking to y'all. But I explained to him my viewpoint on the white man and his motherfucking mama and how ridiculous it is and how cowardice it is of us to call these motherfuckers Karens. And I told him, me and you don't see the same. We don't look at life the same. You stop me to cape for white people, and then you specifically pull out these isolated Karen events as your examples of, well, these things happen sometime, but by and large, they all good. Not a white organization against racism in sight. And if it was, it'll be 4 or 5 motherfuckers. And I don't have time to focus on them. I can't hang my hat on them. I cannot hang my path to freedom on them. We need to be calling shit for what it is and stop being fucking cowards. If you're not spelling Karen with 3 Ks, don't come over here claiming you fuck with me. Don't come over here claiming you black first, second, and third. Don't come over here with that motherfucking bullshit. Because of you, it's some old kiki joke shit. And this bitch been murdering us. Fuck you mean? We don't do that here. Okay? Understand this. Spread this around. I'm tired of seeing black people do it. Even the woke motherfuckers. Like, this is why I can't even chunk myself into a woke, conscious, pro-black. I can't even get onto the team because I disagree with so much of the shit I do that they're doing. They disagree with a lot of the shit that I do. This would be too strong of a message. Spell Karen with 3 Ks, or don't call them bitches Karens at all. And if you're speaking it, acknowledge Karen, 3 Ks. Don't get this shit fucked up. Spell it right. Even when you speak it, spell it right. If you're going to say it, I think you should get it out of your vocabulary at all. They should be caves. Full-blown caves. Cave female, cave males. Racist ass, diabolical, nefarious ass caves. That's all it should be. Period. That's what we're doing over here. And we don't change how we look at this shit, because again, this is Millie Fuller that said, if you don't understand racism, white supremacy, everything else gonna confuse you. We don't even understand who our enemies are. We don't get it. We think it's just a white man. While his mama sliding through scot-free, y'all acting like it's isolated incidents every time this bitch show her motherfucking face and try to have you murdered, or actually murder you. You know, walk up into your apartment, act like she didn't know she was there, she didn't know it wasn't her house, murder you in cold blood. Both of them John. But that's a Karen to y'all. Fuck out of here.